So what is our topic today? Our topic today would be introduction to programming. So what is our topic? Introduction to programming. So whenever I talk about program, okay. So program. So basically, yeah, Madhavi, can you hear me? Madhavi, Banasundar, can you hear me?
Yeah, I'm audible. Yeah, yes.
Yeah, yeah. Hello, Madhavi. Hello, Madhavi. Okay.
Hi.
Right. Hi. So as today is going to be our first session, I would like to start with the basic definition of a program. I'm not going to talk about Java. I'm not going to talk about anything, but I am going to talk about simple definition of a program, which you have to remember throughout your lifetime. You have to, because you have decided to become a Java programmer. Okay, so you have decided to become a Java programmer. So you have to remember whatever the things that I'm going to tell right now for the program. Okay, so whenever I talk about a program, what is a program? A program is a set of instructions. A program is what? A set of instructions. A program is a set of instructions along with the data. So in demo, I might have told this, but I want to tell you in depth about this. Why, sir, you need to tell us the program definition? We already know. So you may know, but I want to tell you from the programmer's perspective, from the real-time programmer's perspective. So you need to understand it from the real-time programmer's perspective. Real-time programmer's perspective in the sense how we are going to develop a program. What are the things that are expected from the programmer's point of view? Okay, all these things we need to know as a programmer. Okay, so what is a program? A program is a set of instructions along with the data considered as what? Considered as input. Considered as what? Considered as input. So you are going to consider the set of instructions and the data. So set of instructions and the data as input. As what? As input. Input is something which is given. Input is something which is given. What is input? Input is something which is given. Input is something which is given. Okay, right. So once you give something, you are going to expect something out of it. Yes or no? You are giving something means you are expecting something out of it. Yes or no? So whenever you are saying giving the input, you are going to expect something out, but in between the input and output, you are going to look at the processing activity. You're going to look at the processing activity. I'll tell you a simple example, and then I'll give you a real-time example also. So how the things are going to be done in this in this Java program, right? So a program is a set of instructions along with the data considered as input that have to be processed, that have to be processed, that have to be processed. A program is a set of instructions along with the data considered as input that have to be processed to give output. To give what? Output. So output, what I gave in the data. Then what I will get out? I will get the information out. What I will get? I will get the information out. So what I'm trying to say here, a program is nothing but set of instructions along with the data considered as input that have to be processed to give the output. The process to give the output. So what I'm trying to say generally, I'm trying to say a programmer is the one who is going to, okay, so who is going to develop the programs. Yes or no? The programmer is the one who is going to develop the program. So what is program contain initially? His program contain inputs. What is program contains? His program contain inputs. So what inputs are? Inputs are nothing but instructions along with what? Along with the data. So instructions along with what? Along with the data. Yes. Now, sir, tell us a simple example of what is an instruction. Now, for example, if I just give some mathematical instruction add, what I give? Some mathematical instruction add. So I gave add. What is this add? Add is something which is given as a instruction. Instruction is nothing but part of the input. Instruction is nothing but the part of the input. So add is the instruction given. So what is data? Data is going to be the raw facts. Data is going to be the raw facts. Okay. So now let me cover some things about data. So generally, if I ask you what is data, what would be your quick answer? Your quick answer, quickest of the answers I have heard in my career is, the quickest answer I have heard is most of the time. So most of the time people will say data is information. What people will say? Data is information. I'm definitely not saying wrong. I'm not saying anything to the students who we are going. I'm not going to say them wrong. I'm not saying, I'm not going to say, or I'm not going to point them that you are wrong. Why you are not going to point them you are wrong? So then what you want to give us means, okay, we'll come back to this. We'll come back to this in 2 minutes. So inputs are nothing but what? Instructions along with the data. So that have to be turned into information. That have to be turned into information. Yes or no? So information is nothing but the output. So now point number 1, you have seen that data is entirely different from information, because you are giving data, you are getting information. You are giving data, you are getting information out. Understanding my point? Yes. You are giving the data is input, getting the data is output, that is information. Yes. Then how this data is getting transformed into information? Now, for example, okay, let me take add 4 plus 3. So the information or the output is 7, right? Yes, obviously 7. So then what is happening in the middle? You are adding 4 plus 3, right? Means you are following the instruction on the data. Yes, are my points clear? Are my points clear? So what I'm trying to say at the end of the day, I'm trying to say that, okay, go back to the program definition. Set of instructions along with the data considered as input that are to be processed to give the output. Okay, sir, what is the processing that I'm going to do? You are going to do the processing by logic application. What? Logic application. What kind of logic, sir? Mathematical logics can be there. Some kind of logical things will be there. So many will be there. Loops, conditionals, everything. So at the end of the day, what is your job? Your job is to apply the logic. Your job is to apply the logic and do the process and get the information Now, if I